How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Farmmi, which ended up having a pullback inside of the market. I didn't get the opportunity to trade off this play. The setup just was not there. So I'm going to be talking about it further inside of this video. So let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance, and what are some levels that we want to look for going into tomorrow. And then afterwards, we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. We want to know, are shorts still heavily vested inside of this play? Are they increasing their positions? We're going to find out. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution, where institutions loading up on shares while FAMI was pulling back today. We're going to find that out. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Farmmi. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at 32 cents, being down 10.80%. On the low, it tested 30 cents, and then on the high, testing 39 cents. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 320.367 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 402.217 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, and it's part of the reasons why we ended up seeing some selling pressure. Now, when we take a look at our chart, we're actually using the 5-day 5-minute chart, which we've been using, and if you take a look at the RSI down below, it is right around 43.11. So what we could see as far as for the price action is concerned, like I was saying, on the low we tested right around 30 cents for FAMI, but it was able to recover and close at 32 cents. So one of the things you're going to want to keep an eye on going into tomorrow is seeing if it could hold up 32 cents. I talked about yesterday it was able to hold up 36, but going into the open it just popped and jumped up to 39 before selling off. So this is part of the reasons why I always say having a strategy is important. So if you went in at the open and you bought at 39 cents, this is the wrong thing to do. You want to wait for the stock to actually pull back and stabilize itself. So since we saw it get as far down as 30 cents, yes, there was an opportunity where you could play the gain off and see them make that move going to 32. I myself personally do not see much benefit in doing that. Now, as far as resistance is concerned, you can see here we have it here right around 34 cents. This was an area that we did test on the day, but then we were met with some selling pressure right around 2:50 p.m. EST, and now use 32 cents as support. So going into tomorrow, you're going to want to see 32 cents actually hold up. If it can hold up, then of course I'm going to be looking forward to seeing a retest going to the 34 cent level and seeing if it can gain some momentum above that. But if it stays at 32 and it decides to break right through it, then of course I would not consider an entry whatsoever. So let's see what happens with FAMI going into tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for FAMI. So we can see here from the dark pool short volume ratio, it is around 53.84%, and the dark pool short volume being at just over 94 million shares, and the short interest percentage of the float being at around 2.63%. As we scroll down on the page further, the short shares availability stands at 8 million, updated 25 minutes ago. And then for the short ball fee rate, it is at 13.72%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of October the 1st, which was last week Friday, it was at 51.46. And now we can see for the close of October the 4th, which was yesterday, being at 53.84. So taking this into consideration, yes, FAMI does continue to have short squeeze potential, but it's very key that you have a strategy if you're going to be in this play because it is very volatile. So it'll be interesting to see how it performs going into tomorrow. So let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Farmmi. So we can see on the inflows at 27 0.45, and then on the outflow it's at 30.30. When we take a look at the breakdown, on the large we had 5.37, on the medium we had 16.52, and then on the small we had 5.56. On the outflow side, on the large it was 4.73, on the medium it was 18.83, and then on the small it was 6.74. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, October the 5th, being at 632.15. So when we actually take a closer look at this breakdown here, we saw a lot of selling on the retail side by taking a look at the small scale orders. There ended up being a surplus of outflows. And then when we take a look at the medium orders, you can see again there was a surplus of more outflows. But when we take a look at the large scale orders, which we know the institutions are getting involved, we ended up seeing a surplus on the inflow side. So this is actually very interesting here. So we did have some purchasing that was happening, but of course in regards to retail, they were selling out of their positions, and I'm going to bet due to the fact that the stock was pulling back and also traders coming out of the play. But institutions were loading up on shares, taking advantage of that dip. And this is part of the reasons why you have to have a strategy when you're inside of this play. I talked about in previous videos that as far as the area of resistance is concerned, and I'm going to say yesterday to be exact, is right around 40 cents. So when we tested 39 cents and end up selling off, this should be of no shock whatsoever. I know many of you FOMO into these plays because you know you're excited, you want to make a lot of money, but you just cannot do that. And this is a perfect example of what we saw. Before you go into any play, you want to see it stabilize. It got down to 30 cents and then ended up seeing some momentum going to 34 cents and then hit another area of resistance. Pay attention to these levels. Be attentive if you're going to be inside of these volatile plays. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go into some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Farmmi, I want to make sure you guys have a strategy and making sure that it works right for you. Do not FOMO. Do not chase. I know previously FAMI had support at 36 cents, and when I saw it in the after hours, it was around 33 cents. So what does this mean? So if it goes into the open at 33 and 34 cents, this is not a great opportunity to buy whatsoever. There's a lot of emotions that are happening in the beginning of the market. The stock is going up or it's going down in different directions. What you want to wait for is stabilization so you can get in with the right entry. Just jumping in, you expose yourself to a lot of risk. So if you went into the play when it was at 39 or 38 cents, knowing, watching this video, that there's resistance at 40 cents, there's not much upside there. So that's just one thing that I want to make sure you guys understand. And when we went on Fintel, we do see FAMI does have short squeeze potential, but you need to have buying volume that is coming through the stock. If the stock is selling off, it doesn't mean it has buying volume. It doesn't mean, well, you know what, automatically I need to buy right now while it's pulling back. Let it dip. You do not want to be in the middle of a falling knife. I want to make sure I really emphasize this because I got messages coming in saying, well, Dre, I bought in the FAMI, what the hell is going on, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, if you're in this play, it is volatile. If you can't stay attentive, if you are being greedy, many people are like, well, you know what, I'm going to be holding this play. I want to see it go to 50, go to the 60 cents, blah, 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 blah. If you're going to do that, you have to assume all the risks that come with it. I've been very transparent, and I told you guys myself, I only like trading off of the fluctuations. I am not holding any positions whatsoever overnight. So just being clear about that and understanding that is something that I want to make sure you guys are getting from this video. And also, I've been talking about risk management. You do not need to have your whole portfolio or your whole entire trading account in one penny stock play. This is very dangerous, and I'm just hoping that you guys are learning from this and also seeing these experiences. We also saw what happened with CEI today. And again, I'm just hoping all of these examples and what you are seeing is helping you become better as a trader, because I want you guys to be successful inside of the stock market. So let's see how FAMI performs going into tomorrow. And of course, I'll keep you guys updated if I decide to jump into this play, or maybe you want to join the Discord. It is up to you. But hey, I just want to make sure I'm being straight up with you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.